That was always his main motto. Like, you need a prophet in your life. Because, again, a prophet is somebody that hears from God directly. That we're being taught that we don't hear from God. And that's a misconception. You don't got to go to a church to hear from God. You don't got to go to a church to have a move of God. You don't got to fly and take a ticket and have hotel rooms to go to meet a church to meet God. You meet him right in your living room. If you go and worship him in spirit and in truth, you will meet God in your living room. If you read his word, you will meet God in your living room. You would meet him on your bed. You would meet him in the bathroom. You don't have to go to places and go to attach to people and things to get God. You got God right here. He's omnipresent. You know what that means? He's everywhere. So that means you don't got to travel to no other country. You don't got to travel to another state. You don't got to go into no church. You don't got to go to no prophet. God is right where the word is. God is right where you are. As long as we go with a contrite heart and a broken spirit, he don't reject that. You got to come genuine to God. That's the only way you see him move. Most of these churches that you run into ain't a move of God. It's ambiance. Pay attention to today. There's a lot of ambiance that's happening. It ain't moves of God. You can literally feel God where you're at if you literally are in spirit and in truth. So we gotta, as much as it's great, yes, the Bible tells us not to forsake this assembly, yes. But don't be out here trying to get to any assembly because you're trying not to forsake it. God would prefer that you get to a place where you're in his pure presence than you worrying about hitting up a church because you just don't want to be out here left out because you think not going to a church is eternal damnation. That's a lie. You're not going to go to hell for not going to church in a building. Matter of fact, we, the people, are the church. These are just buildings. You can have a fellowship, have Bible study in your living room, and that's still an assembly. But you don't go to places, you don't go to no church and put yourself under no spiritual covering or any of that stuff without God. Make sure you praying to God and seeking his face for where to go. And if he plants you into a great Bible-based church, because they are out there, then that's great. But don't go to churches because you see them pop up on your real feed, or because you see they're popular and they're getting traction, or because they sound so great. Don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. I promise you, don't do that. Because the church, at that point, where if you don't go to a good Bible-based, God-fearing church, that will be the worst place for you to go.